Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mini Scroll, the daily internet culture podcast bringing you the biggest stories from social media, the creator economy, and the digital space every Monday through Thursday. I'm your host, Lauren Meisner, the founder of the youth digital media brand, Centennial World. Welcome back to Mini Scroll, everyone. And I am so excited to let you guys know that I believe as of today, our podcast is now available on video on Spotify. So if this episode is not a video episode for you on Spotify, then please know there was a glitch. I couldn't figure out how to get the video on Spotify yet, but I will work on it for tomorrow. But if there is a video, then I figured it out and we are live, which is really exciting. So if you guys like to watch the podcast, now you will have two options, Spotify and YouTube. All right, let's just get straight into the stories for today. So the first story that I have for you guys is that Tarte Cosmetics is facing backlash once again for gifting influencers this time Hermes bracelets in a latest PR campaign. So Tarte Cosmetics is going viral again for a PR campaign that swept TikTok last week. Tarte is still doing lavish gifting and trips for influencers, and last week they really stepped it up when they sent Hermes bracelets to select influencers in their PR packages among their new products. So this obviously rubbed some people the wrong way. And to be honest, I feel like any PR related things like gifting or trips or anything around Tarte now just rubs people the wrong way because of the Tarte Dubai trip and all of the controversy around that. I just think for some reason, even though lots of brands do brand trips, I mean, I understand Tarte's trips are really lavish and over the top, but a lot of brands do brand trips. A lot of brands take influencers away. And I just think the reputation that Tarte developed on TikTok specifically because of Tarte Dubai, because of that like cultural moment that happened with Tarte Dubai and just like the discourse around it, even though it was not anything different from what we'd seen from Tarte in the past, it became this cultural moment. And now that reputation is like seared in the collective hive mind of TikTok. So anything PR related that Tarte does with influencers, people just go absolutely insane. So Tarte, they sent, like I said, these Hermes bracelets. And of course, people are like, okay, it's a cost of living crisis. Like, this is so tone deaf. However, then the controversy was taken up a notch when it was revealed that, yes, a lot of influencers got these Hermes bracelets along with the new product, but some influencers got gold-plated necklaces with their names on it. So not Hermes bracelets, like nothing close to an Hermes bracelet. And then one influencer actually said that herself and some others got bags of candy with their PR instead. So everyone was like, what the hell is going on? And now there's these like conspiracy theories around it. So the three main theories going around on TikTok about like why Tarte would have done this, why they would have gifted some influencers something as lavish and expensive and shocking almost as like an Hermes bracelet and then others like a bag of candy with their new product is number one, they gifted influencers who make them the most money the Hermes bracelets. So whether that's influencers over the course of the year who have had like a campaign with them, like sponsored content where, you know, their links like popped off and they sold lots of product, or influencers who consistently have affiliate links for Tarte and they're making them the most money. And then, you know, the influencers who are making them less money got the bracelets. And then the influencers who are making them the least money, but they still want to have a good relationship with them, they sent them the PR and they had candy in the PR box. The other theory is that it could be that the influencers that speak about Tarte the most, like organically, like use them in their get ready with me videos and stuff, like use their products without being paid or without it being PR, you know, they gifted them Hermes bracelets and it kind of went down the rung like that based on like how frequently these influencers are mentioning them and stuff. Like I am sure a brand like Tarte where influencer marketing is like all that they do, I'm sure that they are keeping track of metrics like that. And then the third theory, which I think is the most unlikely, is that Tarte did this. They chose intentionally to gift some influencers a lavish gift and others not so much because they knew that when these influencers unboxed things on TikTok, that it would be like this kind of controversy and this kind of shocking moment where it was like, oh my God, you know, Hallie got an Hermes bracelet and Ken got a necklace. Like, what's going on here? And I mean, If that is the strategy, it worked. That is literally what everybody's doing. But I'm going to say that's probably not the strategy. I think they wouldn't intentionally be creating a strategy that would isolate or kind of harm their relationship with other influencers. I think it really was just based on metrics and sales, is my opinion. Okay, the next story that I have for you guys is that Amaya Colon has been accused of homewrecking her best friend and fellow influencer Sandra Shehab's relationship. Okay, so Amaya and Sandra were besties and they started posting together around 2019. They're both beauty and lifestyle influencers, and Sandra actually competed on America's Next Top Model, and her family has a lot of influence, a lot of ties to Hollywood. So because of that, Sandra had a bigger following and more influence at the time. So she really took Amaya under her wing and helped kind of build her career. So in 2019, Sandra started dating a man named Josh, and in 2020, Sandra and Josh got engaged. And that same year, Amaya started dating Sandra's brother, Adam. So this is now like an enmeshed foursome, basically. So now, this week, Sandra has taken to TikTok to shed some light on what happened between the four of them, as the couples have all split. So somebody wrote in her comments, they wrote, "Didn't Amaya Colon sleep with your fiance and brother?" And then she just like happened to respond and basically confirm this. She said, "Yup. And her and my ex-fiance are still together, but they're scared to put it out there. He was actually my husband to make matters worse. I should have put it out there and exposed her, but I'm better than that." So now people are taking this to mean that, first of all, Sandra and Josh got married secretly sometime after 2020, obviously. It seems like they split in 2021. I think that's when they publicly made it clear that they were over. And so they obviously got married before 2021. So maybe like at the end of 2020, beginning of 2021, something like that, they got officially married. So they were officially married. And then her best friend, Amaya, allegedly, according to her, this TikTok comment, slept with her husband. And they're still together. So this is a bit niche, but people are losing their minds. It's just that kind of like niche creator tea that just pops off on TikTok and then it's gonna die in like 3 seconds, you know? So now, of course, Amaya's TikTok comment section is filled with people asking her to address this. She has not addressed it yet. I don't think she will after this, but I'll keep you guys posted if she does. Okay, the last story that I have for you guys is that the Youthforia founder has taken to TikTok to finally address Shade 600. Fiona Ko-Chan, the founder of the beauty brand Youthforia, has addressed the backlash her company received back in April when it released a foundation shade called Shade 600 that was revealed to be almost entirely black face paint. So this shade was released after the brand faced criticism for its limited foundation shade range to begin with. And Fiona also made this insensitive video, which I feel like is not getting enough attention around this story. The shade so obviously just had like no undertones, and they actually didn't have a model. So they had a swatch in the place of where a model's photo would be, whereas all the other shades had a model associated with it. And people were kind of like, what the fuck? And then Fiona made this video like on the search, like on the hunt basically for somebody who would suit Shade 600. And she made this TikTok video where she was like running around a mall and like swatching it and trying to like find random people that it might suit. And she ended up finding a guy, and then they did this like photo shoot, and he ended up being the face of Shade 600. I don't know if it has ever been addressed, I'm assuming that was part of the campaign. Like, I don't think that video was like in response to people being like, where is the model? Like, I think that they released the shade range and they released that imagery knowing that that would cause people to be like, where is the model? And then they could release this video off the back of it. I do think it was part of the strategy, but it's still very unclear, at least to me. But yes, so anyways, now Fiona has taken to TikTok several months later on Friday to finally address everything.
But a few months ago, we had an issue with one of our foundation shades. And what happened was I wanted to rush the process to create this shade extension so that it would align with another launch. Because of that, there's just a series of missteps both on our process as well as how fast I was making our labs work, where it just kind of snowballed into just this huge mistake. I just want to be clear, there was never any ill intent when we were creating any of the shades, but a few things did slip through the cracks, and for that I am genuinely sorry. But this product really offended you guys, it really hurt you guys, and for that I will always be very sorry for doing that. In the past few months, I know you guys are probably wondering, where have I been? When all of this was happening, it was right as I was giving birth to my son, and I knew that this was a very serious topic that required a lot of thought, a lot of learning, a lot of intention, and I just knew that immediately going out and talking to you guys right as I was giving birth, in that moment, it wouldn't have done this topic justice. Again, I am so sorry that my actions really offended you guys. I take full accountability for the issue. We've really used this time to really reflect as a company, to learn and to grow, and make sure in the future problems like this never happen again.
So this video did not go over well. I'll read some of the top comments, like the most liked comments. One comment says, I think the big issue is you have not once said, I am not proud of the product I released, and I'm disappointed in the impact it had on this community. Also, as someone who has a makeup brand, it doesn't seem like you enjoy makeup like at all. It's interesting how the word community has been said multiple times throughout the video, but nothing about Youthforia is based in community. Saying, quote, this product really offended you guys is crazy too, because as a makeup brand, you should be offended by the product you put out. Someone else said, way too little and too late, especially after the blatant gaslighting regarding the issue. I hope all the people that were defending this feel foolish. And someone else said, ma'am, we're dealing with YSL right now. We don't have time for this. I actually don't think I spoke about that on a mini scroll, but YSL released this lavender blush that is so light. And the point of these blushes was they were marketing them as, that they would suit like every skin tone. And even people with very light skin were putting them on and they're like, this is too light even for me. So the fact that they're trying to say that this would suit any skin tone, including darker skin tones, is like delusional. And anyways, it caused a lot of uproar. I actually don't know why I didn't speak about it, but I don't think I did on Mini. So I guess that's what this comment is referring to. But yes, the comments are mostly just people being like, this took way too long to address. It's been so many months. I guess I am surprised that they decided to address it this far on. I feel like sometimes the move for these big brands is if they don't address it right away, they just never address it. And sorry, I shouldn't say big brands because Youthforia is not a big brand in the scheme of beauty brands. But, it's a pretty well-known brand. And yeah, I am actually surprised that they would bring this up again, because I do think sometimes the mentality around PR, especially if you have a PR professional that's helping you, is just like, don't say anything because then it will die. So if you bring something back up again, then that's starting the conversation all over again, which obviously it has, at least on this podcast. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening to Mini Scroll. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe, especially if you guys got this video on Spotify and you liked it. I really hope you guys will leave us a review. I'm trying to get to 500 reviews on Spotify, so please just hit that little star. It would mean so much. All right, guys, I love you, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.